Welcome class. Today we will start chapter 13, the BFG. So before starting the chapter, let us read the word meaning and also we will come to know about the writer of the story. So first word meaning is moonbeam, ray of moonlight. Dormitory, dormitory means a large bedroom. Doze off means fall asleep. Slicing, cutting through. Gap means opening. Lights out, bedtime in a room. Duck means to bend. Resist means fight against. So the writer of the story is Roald Dahl, born in 1916 till 1990. He was a British novelist, short story writer, screenwriter and a poet. His famous books for children include James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, The Witches, Fantastic Mr. Fox and the BFG. The story is an excerpt from the BFG. So, this story is written by Roald Dahl. He was a British novelist. He also used to write short stories and he was also a poet. Some of his famous works are James and the Giant Peach, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, Fantastic Mr. Fox and BFG. So this story is a short chapter taken out from the BFG. So now let us start the chapter. Sophie could not sleep. A brilliant moonbeam was slanting through a gap in the curtains. It was shining right onto her pillow. The other children in the dormitory had been asleep for hours. Sophie closed her eyes and lay quite still. She tried very hard to doze off. It was no good. The moonbeam was like a silver blade slicing through the room onto her face. So, this story is about a girl whose name is Sophie. She was unable to sleep at night because a moonbeam was shining right onto her pillow like a silver blade and it was slicing into her room onto her face. The house was absolutely silent. No voices came up from downstairs. There were no footsteps on the floor above either. So the house was completely silent. No sound was coming from anywhere. It was completely silent and there were no footsteps either. The window behind the curtains was wide open, but nobody was walking on the pavement outside. No car went by on the street. Not the tiniest sound could be heard anywhere. Sophie had never known such a silence. So, the silence on that night was very awkward. The window had curtains and the curtains was wide open. Nobody was walking outside on the pavement. No car was passing by. Nothing could be heard over there. Perhaps she told herself that this was what they called the witching hour. So she spoke to herself that this was the witching hour. So now what is the witching hour? The witching hour, somebody has once whispered to her, was a special moment in the middle of the night when every child and every grown-up was in a deep sleep and all the dark things came out from hiding and had the world to themselves. So this is the definition of witching hour. That witching hour means it is a special hour in the middle of the night and every child and every grown-up was in deep sleep and the dark things they used to come out from their world and became world to themselves. So they came from their world into our world and they made the world to themselves. The moonbeam was brighter than ever on Sophie's pillow. She decided to get out of the bed and close the gap in the curtain. So, moonbeam was very brighter. It was falling directly on Sophie's pillow and she decided to come out of her bed and then close the gaps which was there in the curtain. You got punished if you were caught out of the bed after lights out. Even if you said you had to go to the lavatory, that was not accepted as an excuse. And they punished you just the same. But there was no one about now. Sophie was sure of that. Now Sophie came out of her bed She knew that no one was over there. Nobody could punish her. There was a instruction given to all of them that nobody will come out of their bed after the lights went out. Nobody was allowed to go even to the lavatory, but Sophie knew that no one was there, so she came out of her bed. She reached out for her glasses that lay on the chair beside her bed. They had steel rims and very thick lenses, and she could hardly see a thing without them. She put them on, then she slipped out of the bed and tiptoed over to the window. So she went to take her glasses, which was lying on the chair. The glasses had steel rims and very thick lenses. Without them, Sophie could not see anything. She put them on her eyes and then went on tiptoed towards the window. When she reached the curtain, Sophie hesitated. She longed to duck underneath them and lean out of the window to see what the world looked like now that the witching hour was at hand. So Sophie was thinking that the witching hour is at hand. Witching hour has started. Now she went towards the curtain, but she was hesitating. Then she slowly leaned out of the window. She slowly looked out from the window. She listened again. Everywhere it was deathly still. So no voices were coming from nowhere. Everything was completely silent. The longing to look out became so strange she could not resist it. Quickly she dug under the curtain and leaned out of the window. Now she was thinking that nothing could be heard here. So now let me see out of the window. So she started to lean out of the window. In the silvery moonlight, the village street she knew so well seemed completely different. The houses looked bent and crooked like houses in a fairy tale. Everything was pale and ghostly and milky white. So when she looked out at the village street, she saw that all the things was completely different. The houses looked very bent and crooked. As we see the houses in the fairy tale, everything was very pale. Nothing could be seen nicely. Everything was very hazy over there. Across the road she could see Mrs. Wren's shop where you bought buttons and wool and bits of elastic. It did not look real. There was something in her eye to travel further and further and further down the street. Now she saw Mrs. Wren's shop. Mrs. Wren's shop was a shop where she used to buy buttons and wools and elastic, and it was not looking real. It was like something was traveling over there, and nothing could be heard over the street. Further and further down the street, nothing could be heard. Everything was completely silent. Suddenly she froze. There was something coming up the street on the opposite side. It was something black, something tall and black, something very tall, very black and very thin. Now Sophie was standing at the window and she suddenly saw that something was coming from the opposite side. The appearance of that was fully black, tall and thin. Something very black, something very tall and black and very thin. The giant sees Sophie, who runs to her bed and tries to hide. This does not work as the giant picks her up through the window. Before she could act, he runs incredibly fast with her and vanishes in the darkness. Now giant is seeing Sophie, but Sophie is trying to hide herself from the giant. But she was unable to hide herself from the giant, and thus the giant took up her and vanishes in the darkness. So mainly Sophie was in a dream. It was all a fantasy. She was just dreaming. Nothing was real. Everything she thinks was very unreal, and she was just dreaming. All the incident which happened was just dreaming. So students, today we have completed our chapter. Your homework is to go through the chapter and read the word meanings and also about the author of the chapter. So that's all for today. Thank you.